Hello, everybody, and welcome to a little special edition of Inside Guns, a little Inside Guns Newsflash here. As you know, I don't usually do shows on Saturday, other than my live chat, which will be later today. But today I wanted to talk about something that I thought was just a little bit too good of news to not talk about. I was going to wait and talk about it Monday, but I'm like, who doesn't like a little good news for their weekend? What I wanted to talk about is something most of you are probably already aware of by now. But it's the fact that a federal judge has overturned the assault weapons ban that has stood for 32 years in California. Now, not only did he overturn it, but I love the grounds that he used to overturn it. Because in one of the statements he made about why he's overturning it, he said it's a failed experiment. Because so often people on the left, they use this excuse that, lawmakers and the courts can do things for public safety that may violate the Constitution as long as it's for public safety. Well, that's not in the Constitution anywhere. I never have had them be able to point out to me where it says that these things only hold true if politicians decide it's good for people. Never have been able to find that. But they rely on that. And since this judge is saying, hey, you had 30 years to see if your point that banning these weapons would have any noticeable effect on crime didn't work. So therefore, it's a failed experiment, and even by your standard, doesn't get to stand because it obviously isn't for public safety if it's not increasing public safety. And this is a point where I think a lot of leftists have bit themselves in the ass over the years, where they keep talking about, things are worse now than ever. Well, you've had all these laws in place forever, and now things are worse. Well, that means your laws don't work. And this judge finally pointed it out in a court of law. Now, you might think that, these laws don't work and the left should design them better. Well, no, they designed them to where they don't work. They know they're not going to work. They just didn't want this kind of ruling to happen because they designed these laws to where they aren't going to work. Because their goal is not to just ban one thing, have a peaceful society, and move on. It's to ban one thing, be able to say, things are worse than ever. We didn't ban enough. We need to ban more. And then ban more and go, not enough. We need to ban more. And then finally say, we banned everything but didn't help. But what are you going to do about it now because you don't got any guns? That's their goal. But this judge pointed out that if you're going to use public safety as your excuse to violate the Constitution and you're not increasing public safety, well, then you don't have an excuse to violate the Constitution. And also, this judge seemed to me as one of the people who doesn't even believe in that doctrine, because let's just say this, the courts and the politicians that rely on that doctrine, that's not in the Constitution. That's something they made up themselves to justify their own violations of our rights. So that doesn't even hold water as far as I'm concerned. And according to a lot of the people that are now on the Supreme Court, doesn't hold water either. They don't believe in that. They believe in the strict interpretation of the Constitution as it was written. So a lot of these people on the left know that if these things get to the Supreme Court, this whole notion that we can violate people's rights as long as it's for the good of whatever we decide is the good of, whoever they think that is going to benefit. This is not going to hold up when it gets to the Supreme Court. So they don't want these fights right now. But it looks like they're going to have them because, like I said, this court judge, this federal judge, said it's a failed experiment. It's unconstitutional. In 30 days, it's off the books. Now, it will be appealed in those 30 days. And I'm sure it will go to the Ninth Circuit, where I'm actually kind of confident that if it just goes to a random draw in the Ninth Circuit, it'll probably get it'll probably get upheld. It'll be not the assault weapons ban, but the judgment that it is unconstitutional would be upheld. Then, of course, as always, they would say, well, we demand an en banc hearing. And then they would say, and we're going to choose the judge panel. It's going to be a 3-panel judge, and we're going to choose 2 special judges that we know will rule whatever way we tell them to. So that's their game and always has been their game. And then that'll set it up to go to the Supreme Court, just like some other stuff is going to the Supreme Court already. And the more stuff that goes to the Supreme Court right now, the better as far as I'm concerned when it comes to the Second Amendment. So I wanted to just talk about that today, how, like I said, he declared it unconstitutional. He went out of his way to say it's a failed experiment. He also made a point of saying, an AR-15, this thing you're trying to ban as if it's some sort of outside the bounds of safety weapon, it's like a Swiss Army knife. It's a very common, practical, useful tool around the home or for self-defense. So This judge said a lot of stuff that I think is very important. He didn't just say, that's unconstitutional, strike it down. He said a lot of stuff, like I said, I like. So I'm looking forward to this advancing up the chain, and I hope it goes to the Supreme Court because I think it will fall. And at a time when they're trying to push for a new assault weapons ban, this is the last thing they want. That's why they're so upset about this right now, because it's got them all in a tizzy. They're all running around like chickens with their heads cut off. Like, oh my God, this is a slap in the face. Oh my God, this is an assault to everyone who's ever lost a child. Blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. Just emotional bullshit because they know they don't have very many legs left to stand on. Things are starting to crumble for the anti-constitutionalists, the anti-freedom people, the anti-gunners. The people who want to blame guns every time something goes wrong instead of blaming people and their own shortcomings and how they failed to deal with the problems of the people. Especially the politicians. Whenever the people act out because of issues, they always love to say, well, it must be that guns problem. It's not the fact that we have not addressed any of the issues of the people unless you make over $1 million a year. And then you can address your own fucking problems. But just wanted to point that out today. Like I say, that's some great news for this Saturday. The California assault weapons ban, for now, has been declared unconstitutional and has only 30 days of life left unless they appeal, which they're gonna. So I'm not saying people run out and buy assault rifles and, assault rifles in quotes, AR-15s, etc. in California, because it will probably be appealed and there'll be a stay put on it, etc. But it's a step towards something really good, getting it to the Supreme Court. Heck, it might even surprise us, and it might be upheld en banc in the Ninth Circuit because they don't want it to go to the Supreme Court. Because they're going to see what happens with this other one in December. They're going to see what happens with this other Ninth Circuit en banc hearing that went to the Supreme Court. And if that goes against them, they may not risk it with the assault weapons ban. They might just say, California, you just got to suck it up. We don't want this to be federal law, that it's unconstitutional. So we're going to see what happens. But like I said, for now, there's some really great news. Assault weapons ban, 32 years standing in California, is now struck down. It is not going to go away right away. It might not go away for a long time, but I'm pretty confident that if it goes the full length, if it goes the full game here and goes all the way to the Supreme Court, it will go away because this is finally something to make it there. And it needs to make it there because there have been other judges in other states and other circuits that have said, well, the assault weapons ban's okay because it's for public safety. And like, no right is absolute, but that's another topic. We'll talk about the no rights absolute Monday when I actually do my video. But just wanted to say that little bit of good news for today. Take that and hope it flavors your weekend a little more positively. And I will be back again on Monday with a full show where we'll talk about this and other things a little more in depth.